It's pesto!
Yay! Pesto!
Yeah. I saw that coming fucking mile off.
I did not think of that. That's so good.
Hello, Merry Christmas. This is the 21st episode of the Abomination Vaults campaign diary, and this one was a pretty good one. Before we get into it, I just wanted to let you know that we are going to take a Christmas break, so while there will still be content coming to the channel, it might be a while until you get your next Abomination Vaults campaign diary. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, comment if you want to show your support. When we left off, our heroes were resting in May's caravan, recovering from a very long and very emotional day of adventuring. As they had been toasting their fallen friends and lamenting what was to come, they were shocked by a fifth glass toasting with them. As they looked to the sudden arrival, they saw a red-skinned devil covered in shifting scrolls of paper. This was, of course, Urevian, the contract devil. Our heroes were obviously disturbed by this unwelcomed and unknown visitor.
Excuse me? Who are you?
Oh, well, I am Urevian, contract devil. Sorry to intrude on your little party here, but I figured now would be a good time to get to know each other. Urevian is not someone who's supposed to show up this early in the campaign. In the module, as written, he doesn't make an appearance until the 7th floor, which our heroes are a long way off reaching. However, with a character like Urevian, there's so much potential for a reoccurring half-villain, half-ally that I really felt like I could get way more value out of him by using him as a reoccurring, problematic character. I had to change the context of his part in the adventure slightly, but it remains similar enough that I only required a few small amendments to the story. But essentially, he's still sick of working for Belcora, he's still locked into a contract limiting his activities in the dungeon, and he still wants a particular soul and needs the party to get it. His own contract with Belcora includes the following points. Urevian cannot physically harm Belcora, those in her service, or anybody that shows loyalty to her. The reward part of the contract remains the same. His prize must be retrieved by somebody that opposes Belcora. He cannot actively leave the universe, specifically the Isle of Kortos, until his contract with Belcora is either completed or void. And his requirement to her is that he must actively seek the destruction of the surface world. So why is he showing up to the party now? Well, he knows that our heroes aren't strong enough nor adequately motivated to bring him Carmen yet. However, he knows that our heroes are really struggling with the idea of facing Nakazarin again. This means he can offer them help in the fight against her in exchange for an unspoken future favour. After adding some stipulations that seemingly cover all the truly awful things he could ask for, it becomes quite an appealing offer in exchange for something far more valuable than a specified price.
Do you just make habit of poofing into people's houses?
The interesting people I do, yeah. And you are very interesting people.
Right, well, we're kind of having, like, a moment.
It was a beautiful moment. Don't let me stop you. If you have more to say, then I shall sit here quietly until you're done.
Why?
Well, it's quite simple. I understand you're having some problem with that ghoul skank, and I have a couple of problems of my own. I thought maybe we could help each other out. Milo tried to recall knowledge about contract devils, however, part of the benefit of Urevian being a level 9 creature is that he can remain a total mystery to the party for a long time. I did give him the information that he was under the impression that all devils can create and use contracts, so the idea of a contract devil seems weird to him. I've changed the lore a little bit regarding this, deciding that for the purposes of improving this storyline, low-level devils require a contract devil to broker the deals on their behalf.
When you say contract devil, well, what does that even mean? Isn't that the purview of devils in general?
A common misunderstanding. Most devils need someone to broker their deals. That would be my role in our society.
Oh.
You're
a deal maker, but most devils still need deals made.
Yes, it's a very good business to be in.
That does explain all the scrolls.
Look, I understand that you guys are struggling to come to terms with fighting little ghoul person. I can make your lives a lot easier in regard to that.
Yeah? Oh.
With their interest piqued, Urevian presented his offer. Well, it's quite simple. My own contract with the dead chick states that I cannot physically harm her, her allies, her servants, or anybody that shows loyalty towards her. Unfortunately, that loony ghoul bird worships Belcora like a fucking demigod, so she falls into that category of people I can't fuck up. There's a devil that you've already met, though. And he can get out of his contract on the grounds that he just gets a hold of it. Then he's free to, he's free of any limitations that he's currently under. I know where Klock's contract is being held, and I can broker the new deal between you and him. One in which he joins you in your battle against the ghouls, and I guess we'll have to see what he wants in return, eh?
Right. Yeah. You know, this is suspiciously convenient.
What do you get out of this? Apart from a fancy scroll to add to your collection there.
A favour of my choosing, when I choose it.
One
From each of us?
each of us, yeah.
No, we can make this a group signing. One of you has to take the actual job of signing it, but it can be contracted to the group, present or future members.
Milo, who wanted revenge more than anything, was already sold. However, his allies were much more cautious.
I can sign it.
Wait.
Technically.
No, before we sign anything, can we stipulate some rules of what this favor could be?
Of course, I have some assumptions, of course. I will not ask you to kill any mortal. I will not request an item that is in your possession, nor your souls, nor your lives. I will not ask you to take any action that leads to the permanent corruption of your bodies or souls. And we'll say that you have 33 days to complete the request. And of course, the request must be achievable in 33 days, both in terms of physical distance and required skill to pull it off. Of course, if you have any other stipulations, I'm willing to hear them out.
That all seems pretty fair, right? You'll notice that it does leave the ability to request the capture and retrieval of a certain blacksmith wide open.
I think that sounds pretty good, actually.
Wait. So you need a name to sign, correct?
Yeah, there's a few technicalities, but one person needs to take ownership of it.
What if we had a name for our entire group and that was signed? Would that be acceptable? So it doesn't all lay on one person's shoulders.
That would make the contract easier in terms of allowing anybody to fulfill the contract, but I would still need a specific individual to take ownership of it.
Could we possibly confer before we make any decisions?
Oh, yeah, of
I'll do
course.
it.
Milo, no.
Urevian teleported out of the caravan, leaving the group to discuss the contract.
What the fuck, Milo? Like, you can't just sign your life away to a devil we don't know. I get you're enthusiastic. I know that we need to beat the school, but you can't just agree?
Why would he even? How does he even know why we're here? Who we are? Who is this guy? You have no information. Why would you sign it? It's a devil.
Yeah, but from what I know of devils, I know a bit, not that much. It's not really my favorite subject, but I studied a fair bit about most kinds of creatures. And I mean, they do seem generally honorable in their dealings. It's just that there's usually some kind of hidden thing that makes it go bad for you some way or another. But it sounds like here that he has found this opportunity to get something that he wants that isn't contingent on our suffering, which seems like we'll be tools in a larger play.
This was good intuition. Urevian in this moment has no desire to hurt or destroy our heroes. He's currently looking to gain a powerful card to play against Belcora. While owing a devil a favour is certainly not a comfortable spot to be in, they are not in any immediate danger in doing so.
And you are just okay to be a tool in a larger play. You don't know what it is?
I mean, that's what we already are, aren't we?
At least we know our goal here, why we're doing it. We don't know what this guy is up to.
No, but he's offering us a chance to strike back.
The question would be, so what he is providing to us would be any way to show us where the contract is, right?
Yes, and brokering a deal with the demon to ensure that it will fight with us. Something we couldn't assure do on our own. He could just leave if we gave him the contract. But this way we kind of secure that avenue.
So let me just get this straight. You want to sign your name to some level of servitude that will then hold another demon in another level of servitude to us.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly, with there being a catch.
Yeah.
So, do you think you can just outsmart a demon?
No, but I feel, given the stipulations that he provided, I feel fairly certain the reward outweighs the risk. Because as we are now, I don't think we can defeat her. It did not go well last time, and we haven't improved remarkably since then.
Ornifex felt very unsure about how devil contracts work, so she went to visit Rin. Rin was very much against signing any contract with a devil, and warned against it heavily. She made sure Ornifex understood how important the wording was, as they are taken very literally. Ornifex hurried back to the group and told them what Rin had said.
So, Rin is not happy about having a devil here.
That's understandable, I guess.
Yep. And she also told me that if he does end up wanting your soul at some point, it will be taken out of the life cycle. Never
Yeah,
to
but he
return again.
explicitly stated that our souls would not be at stake.
I don't trust him.
But if there is an explicit statement in the contract that says that we cannot be permanently corrupted and our souls are not at stake, I don't see how... that seems pretty watertight to me. Like, okay, sure. And Milo, get up and start pacing around a little bit as he's talking, gathering his thoughts. Okay, sure. It's probably not going to be great, whatever he ends up wanting. It might be difficult. It might be risky. And, probably it's going to be risky. And it might be a price that we end up not wanting to pay in the end. But as things stand right now, I'm willing to bet on that. And I'm willing to take on that debt myself. Neither of you have to do that.
But it's not a debt just for you. He said it would involve all of us, but someone's name goes to it.
We can probably amend that, right? And I'll look over to the devil.
Urevian reappeared in the room, very pleased to have Milo so on board with the contract. He just needed to manipulate the others into letting it happen.
Yes, we can change that. If it wants to be just on you, then I'm more than willing. I still need you all to work together on the fame, though. No offense, but I don't think you're quite up to it on your own. Whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd help me, right? I just mean that, if we can't fulfill it, I don't want the punishment to fall on anybody but myself. If I do end up signing it.
You do raise a good point. Another stipulation, then. If you as a group refuse or do not complete the request within the required 33 days, I get control of Milo's body for 24 hours to do with whatever I want.
It's weird.
Well, if you fail to do it, I'm just going to fucking do it myself.
Oh, right, and by using my body, then you get, to do whatever I'm allowed to do?
But you
Yeah.
already stated Milo's not up to the task.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
So-
but infused with demonic devil powers, probably I would be.
yeah, he pats Milo on the back. I'm pretty sure I could get more mileage out of this than he can.
Ornifex was still highly suspicious and tried to find holes in Urevian's words.
When you mention that you think Milo will not be up to the task, you do sound like you already know what the task is supposed to be.
Well, I'm hoping to bank a group of adventurers in my future potential endeavors. Having a single adventurer is not quite the same.
So your future endeavors entail what exactly?
Urevian decided to lean more on the threatening approach and revealed his current obligations to destroy the surface world, hoping the benefit of helping him leave would become apparent to our heroes.
Well, the overall goal is to get out from under Melchora's thumb.
Okay, that sounds fair so far.
Look, we kind of both want the same thing here. I would very much like if you can fucking murder again, Melchora, so that I can fucking go home. The whole point of signing contracts with humans is that they die in a pissy few years. But since she fucking died, and now is back again, I'm stuck until she dies again, or until my contract is completed. And my contract cannot be completed until I've wiped this entire fucking island of humans and dwarves and elves. It's very much in your favor to sign this, because otherwise, you'll be included in the people I'm hired to kill.
Yeah. And we kind of want to stop any widespread destruction
Exactly.
regardless.
Exactly. I just want to go home.
Yeah. And I just want to kill every single ghoul I ever lay my eyes upon.
It seemed like Milo's mind was made up, and the others could do little to stop him.
Look, Milo,
Yeah.
you seem like you really want to take this on.
I think it's our best shot of not dying, killing all
Right.
these ghouls.
Yeah, no, I get that. If it's something that you genuinely believe is going to be beneficial, then who am I to stop you making a choice in your own adventure in life, I guess? Just know that if it does go horrifically wrong, we'll try our best to help. Right? And I'll turn back to Ornifex and Sisto.
I almost thought you were gonna say, I'm gonna tell you I told you so, but I appreciate that.
That'll come after it's fixed, Milo.
Okay, yeah.
With that, Milo signed the contract. Urevian pulled out a long scroll which seemed to autofill and then presented it to Milo with a quill. Milo did ask to see the stipulations and they were included, so he signed. The scroll then slithered up and wrapped around one of Urevian's long black horns. He wanted to fulfill his side of the bargain as soon as he could, so he explained exactly where Klock's contract could be found, as well as how to get there. Once he was sure they understood, he prepared to leave. Before leaving though, Milo asked for his own copy of the contract. This caught Urevian off guard, however he did comply. In an awkward and passive-aggressive way, he manifested 70 pages of unattached sheets of parchment detailing the contract and left. Our group were very tired by now, so they relaxed until sleep took them. Milo spent several hours copying his version of the contract into his thaumaturgic tome, until eventually falling asleep at May's table. Sesto and May went to sleep in her caravan as well. Meanwhile, Ornifex left and took a long walk along the river. She prayed to her gods and then eventually returned to the Crow's Cask to get some sleep. As she drifted off though, Belcora cast Nightmare on the cleric. I had asked the group how they wanted to handle solo scenes like dreams, and they wanted to do them secretly, so we joined a private call and I began to describe the dream. Hello, Editing Skull here. Just wanted to warn you the voice acting for this character is so bad that I nearly dubbed it for the video, but I decided not to do that, so enjoy. As you drift off to sleep, you fall into a comforting dream. You're stood in a field of tall grass, swaying gently in the soft breeze. It's nighttime. The cool twilight air refreshes your skin. Nearby there's a quaint village, its warm lights glowing through the windows. You look up and see thousands of distant, shining stars, and you are at peace. The silence is broken by heavy footsteps, crunching the grass as somebody approaches you. You turn to see who it is, and it's Elleron. That's right, you recall that this is a memory. It's one of the final nights that you spent together before he left. He puts his hand on your shoulder and gazes up at the stars. Another beautiful night, isn't it? Belcora took a few moments to grab hold of Ornifex's dream and shifted it, manipulating it and ruining it in her image. You should enjoy it. Its beauty will be diminished once the blue light drowns it all out. Slowly, a blue hue grows around you, drowning out the other sights and colours. Peace turns to panic. Your heart begins to race. The gauntlet will shine its light upon Absalom, and though the stars will shine on, we won't be able to see them. Clawed feminine hands reach out the blinding blue light and begin to very slowly just peel and tear the flesh and skin from Elleron. Though he doesn't seem to react, he just stares at you with a sad expression. With much of his skull and jawbone visible at this point, he turns away from you and looks up at the sky, seemingly watching something that you can't see through the blue light. I was right to abandon you. To think that you could ever embody the light of the stars. To think that you could ever... Suddenly, another presence pushed into her sleeping mind, a much more powerful one, a sinister, protective presence. He chokes, eyes bulging as thousands of iridescent bubbles and tentacles spew from his throat and nose. The blue sky flickers and wavers, being repelled by the swelling mass of bubbles and tentacles. Distantly, you hear a woman's voice faintly. What is this? Why are you doing this? Suddenly, the blue light blinks out, and with a terrible slurping sound, all of the writhing mass is pulled back into the body of Aleron. He smiles at you, no longer wounded at all. There's an old guard coming. Please, you have to stop it. If you can't stop it from entering the universe, they'll send me into that star-forsaken lighthouse, and I will die. I won't even know why I'm there. He pulls you in for a tight hug and whispers in your ear. The light has faded, and we've been blessed with another beautiful night. And yet you were not there to see it. He pulls away, but leaves his hands clasped on your shoulders. He stands smiling at you for several long seconds, yet there's a tear rolling down his face, which leaves you a little bit unnerved. And then he explodes, splattering you with blood and oily foam. You startle awake as Magaloy is shaking you with a look of extreme concern on her face. Ornifex! Wake up, are you okay? That's blood! Sure enough, you turn around and look at your pillow, and it's sticky with blood.
Oh my god. Is there only blood on the pillow? Like, I want to look around. Where's the blood? Where does it come from?
Make a perception check. Yog-Sothoth had protected her from Belcora's spell, and he'd also given her a protective gift. Ornifex wasn't wounded, however, if she had rolled better on her perception check, she might have noticed a faint, oily trail leading from the window to her bed. A small black tentacle has attached itself to her right behind her ear. Mechanically, this will let her cast Phantom Pain once a day, much like a wand that she doesn't have to hold. For my benefit, whenever it seems appropriate, I can whisper sweet little secrets into her ear. Shaken and confused, she took a long bath before meeting her allies. Once again, she told them nothing of the incident. I spoke to Ornifex's player about the dream, and what she took away from it was that Yog-Sothoth was putting pressure on her to act faster, or her mentor will be punished on her behalf. She isn't sure whether it's Yog-Sothoth that will be doing the punishing, or whether it's another old god that's making moves. I'm pretty pleased with her takeaway. The only thing she missed was that Yog-Sothoth was protecting her from Belcora's spell. With a long rest taken and healing done, our heroes looked to the day's plans. They began by selling some unused loot, including a few +1 weapons they'd found. I'm not sure if those +1 potency runes are useful to keep hold of, or if selling them is part of the assumed income per level. Once they were ready, they returned to the Gauntlet and made their way cautiously to the main library once again. As they passed by the servants' quarters, they could hear the commotion of several mitflits screeching. I'm going to slowly build up Boss Scrong's Mudflicker maggots until the group decide to go check on him again. Just for fun and to make the dungeon seem more alive. Since Urevian's directions began from the entrance to the restricted library, our heroes formed up at the door and listened into the room. They could hear the sounds of movement and quiet conversation. Assuming there was no other way into the space beyond, they began to hatch a plan. They felt like Urevian would have told them if there was other entrances, so they knew they needed to get through the room. However, it took them very close to the temple and the person they wanted to avoid the most. They thought they could perhaps use darkness to sneak along the walls unnoticed, but upon remembering ghouls have dark vision, they realized that was a very bad plan. They seemed stuck for ideas for a while until they remembered that Sesto has the Pest Form spell and could theoretically turn into a rat for a little solo stealth mission.
Damn, maybe you should go stealth and check it
No,
out
it's
and
not-
report
no,
back.
Nah.
It really sounds like we should go check it out.
Absolutely.
What is Sesto? Wanna check it out?
No,
Fine.
I don't want to go in there in the dark on my own where I can't see.
I mean, we'd be right
Like-
here.
You know how unarmored I am.
Yeah.
It's just a little gnome on his own, yeah.
Oh, but you're not a little gnome. You're like the famed protector of Atari, right?
Exactly.
Go on, you can just stick your nose in and come back.
Sesto was not particularly fond of this plan, but since no one saw any other way of progressing safely, he didn't really have a choice. He used Pest Shape to become a rat, while the others hid in the washroom. His concern about not being able to see is valid, as is the issue of doors. I decided that he would be able to see at least a few inches in front of his face, allowing him to follow the walls. As for the doors, we began making acrobatics checks to squeeze underneath them. Alone, Pesto forced his way under the door and entered the restricted library. He heard the ghouls arguing and gained a better understanding of what they were doing in this room, library work. Not to be distracted though, he scurried to the door Urevian had told him to find and squeezed into the scriptorium. This room is lined with tables divided into several narrow corrals with wooden chairs pushed in against them. A Upon them, old stacks of paper and tattered books sit amid dry inkwells and brittle writing quills. To the south, a skeleton dressed in a shiny-looking chain shirt lies slumped on the floor, clutching something in its bony hands. He cautiously moved into the room and began searching for the secret door that Urevian had told him about. I gave him a +5 circumstance bonus because he knew exactly where the door was supposed to be. As he did so, a female ghost floated above him, moving stacks of paper between desks. He found the door and squeezed through this one too. I did increase the DC for this door, as by nature of it being a secret door, the gap was going to be much tighter. As he pushed under it, he heard a tut from behind him and saw the ghost scowling down at him with disgust. But he had entered the secret scriptorium and his target location. A work table covered in blank scrolls and papers sits against the eastern wall of this room. A cabinet with several closed drawers stands to the north. Now that he was where he needed to be, he dropped pest form and searched the room. The drawers to the north were locked, so he turned to the table, and he did indeed find the Devil's Contract. He took a short while to scan it for names, and while he doesn't read Infernal, he did notice the name Klock, confirming that this was the correct one. Content, he used a second casting of Pest Form to return to being Pesto, and fled back towards his allies. This trip was less smooth, as he nearly got stuck beneath the secret door due to a critical failure, but he used his hero point to avoid that. He also had the confidence to sneak closer to the ghouls. His return stealth had been quite a low roll, so I had the ghoul notice the rat. However, since ghouls eat dead flesh, the ghoul paid him no attention, and he managed to safely return to the group with the contract. Wasting no time, they hurried to the prison to deliver the contract to Klock.
Oh, hi, Klock.
You're back.
Yeah, and look at this.
His eyes go from a look of absolute pure boredom to like kind of stunned silence.
Told you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting I'd ever see you again, especially not with the contract. May I?
Well, yeah, but there's one thing. I'm not trying to pressure you or anything. I just want to ask, is there any way you could possibly desire vengeance on these things that have kept you here for so long? Because if so, we're in business. Because that's exactly what we want to do.
He squints at you for a second. I don't even know if I can get out of my contract yet. I need to read
that's fair.
over it.
Yeah, that's fair. Right, yeah, I guess, yeah. Have at it.
Klock took the contract and began reading it. He quickly noticed the stipulation that his services would end if he didn't receive new orders every 99 weeks and 99 days. A mixture of absolute frustration and freedom washed over him. However, the moment was ruined by Urevian suddenly appearing to cackle at the lesser devil's poor luck. He sort of just very, very slowly closes his eyes and just puts his head back against the stone wall and lets out the deepest, purest sigh you've ever heard a creature give. And then you hear this manic laughter as Urevian appears next to him, just cackling at him. You big dumb bitch. And he appears just howling with laughter at Klock. After regaining his composure, Urevian, true to his word, began to broker a deal between our heroes and Klock. Oh, I needed that laugh. Klock. Guess you'll be eager to get home now, right? Klock just sort of gives him just this horrible, sad side eye. Yeah. Yes, I will. I'm gonna go. And Urevian stops him. No, hold on for a second. These good folk here are in need of your aid. I'm here to help them draft a contract with you. You know, the ghouls on this floor are causing a lot of problems. Worshipping Belcora, who has you trapped here for several years, beyond what you should have been. Are you willing to sign a contract with these folk, in which you help them in their fight against the ghouls and the ultimate defeat of Nakazarin? Klock very much wanted to return to Hell, so when considering the contract, I had him prioritize a quick settlement. However, he knows how skittish mortals can be, and wanted to give the appearance of a fair deal to increase the likelihood of their acceptance. Like a true manipulative devil, he used his known impatience to leave, seemed like he was willing to take a bad deal in order to get home quicker. Yeah, you see Klock look you guys over with almost like it's the first time he's actually seeing you. gives you all long looks up and down and considers you. What are they offering? And Urevian turns to you guys. What are they offering?
Oh. Is it too late to say your contract with Belcora?
It was absolutely too late to say that. I've got that already. I'm free of it.
Yeah. I realize that now.
Well, what would you want from us?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Leaving it up to the devil to decide. A bold move from our party. I decided to go straight for the big one. Well, I'm eager to get home, but I could stick around a bit if I could feed. How about one of you signs a contract, and if you happen to die within the next 7 days, I get your soul.
No.
So my nasty manipulative plan here was to base the negotiations in the lie that Klock isn't willing to wait that long to get the reward. He'll do the job, stick around for 7 days, and if he happens to get his reward in that time, great. If not, no harm. He'll head home empty-handed because he'd rather be back in hell. What I was hoping my players wouldn't realise, and they didn't, is that once a soul is on the line, there's no way he's going to head back to hell without trying to claim it. The immediate no was expected, so Urevian stepped in to try and find the correct wording to make the deal seem fair. Of course, he's always going to be on the devil's side, so expect some shenanigans with the wording.
That's a bit forward. But stipulations. During that time, the Sione will have protection from Korlok, so that he cannot kill the Sione with his own hand.
But that doesn't mean that you won't step in to save one of us if we're gonna die. So no.
Well, how about this then? We add that stipulation. But we also add the stipulation that for the time that you assist us in fighting the ghouls, you must do so with every ounce of your being and without any attempts to play the situation against in their favor. After that, you don't have to assist us anymore, and could go off and die on our own further down in this pit of despair and decay.
What if we worded it as any decision he makes is for the group, not himself?
Urevian will step forwards with a piece of paper and a quill.
How about the contract states that Korlok only gets the soul if they die within 7 days, and it only begins after Nakazarin is dead. That way, he has to help you kill Nakazarin before the potential of souls is allowed.
No, just
Yeah, that sounds good.
no, Milo.
Yeah?
Paying your soul, the risk of losing your soul is too much for this. We'll get through without him. We've always done it without him. We don't need to risk anyone's soul for it. Ornifex, come on. Back me up.
Didn't
Surely
do
you
it
don't
without
think
him
I did
though.
it.
Last time we tried, Rock died.
A very tragic death indeed.
Yeah.
But doesn't that just hold up the whole it's not worth losing more people over this?
This is the entire point of getting Korlok on side, to not lose someone.
Exactly.
You just shush, this is between us. Go stand in a corner or something.
You see he grins and
But he's really good at
turns away.
arguing.
It's absolutely not worth the risk.
So as
No.
it states now, he could just attack us afterwards, right after the fight when we're weakened.
No, we'll add that stipulation as well.
We have agreed
Personally.
he cannot
Yeah.
kill you with his own hand.
Isn't there something else he could desire aside from a soul?
He's hungry.
He looks at you with this very sad, tiresome expression. I've been stuck here for 500 years with no souls. You know what that kind of hunger does to a man? You're lucky I don't kill you here right now.
Right. I've said my piece. I can't take any part in this. I cannot stand here in good faith and let one of you sign up your soul for this. I'm not going to stay here and watch it.
I've very much enjoyed having people sit on different sides of the fence with this. On one hand, we have Milo, whose desire for revenge and self-doubt that they can overcome Nakazarin themselves pushes him to make the deals. On the other hand, we have May and Ornifex, who are quite vocal in their distrust, and they trust that they can overcome these challenges themselves. Urevian will dramatically throw his hands up. Oh, come on. They're not offering their soul up, it's a potential. He's going to stay for 7 days because that's as long as he's willing to wait, in case he maybe gets one. And then he's just going to go home.
I'm sorry, have you been in our party for the past few days? No, you don't get to say.
Oh, come on, Knuckles. May exited the room, leaving Milo and Ornifex to continue negotiations.
Milo, this is not worth it. Even Rin said, if a devil ever wants your soul, you need to say no. I know truly you want this. Don't throw your life away for this like it's nothing.
I'm not, though, am I? It's not like I'm saying, yes, here, take my soul and get this done for me. It's a gamble.
But do you
And the
really-
odds seem pretty good.
Are they though?
Yeah, I haven't died yet, and I've lived for 21 years. Why would I die in the next 7 days?
Because we're here, Milo.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get this done. And I don't see how us thinking about this more is gonna make that happen.
Have you thought about this though?
Yes, I have. I've thought about this a lot. Ever since Rock died, it's all I've been thinking about. Churning over and over in my head. We're not strong enough on our own.
Milo, there's still so much strength to get.
Yes, sure. We can get more powerful, but I don't see how we can get more powerful where we are right now. This will lead to more power. This will lead to more things. I'm sure there are more treasure down here, more artifacts, more things that we can use to bolster ourselves, but we haven't found anything like that so far. Not a trump card we can use against the ghouls and their damn priestess. Except this. What do I really risk? My soul? I don't know him, you know? Who's that? I need to get this done. For my mom, for my father. I promised her I'd kill them all.
I will give you a very, very tight hug. We're here for you, Milo.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm not afraid. That's why I don't think I will die in 7 days.
With no one left to stop him, Milo agreed and signed the contract with the following rules. Klock must help our heroes kill Nakazarin. From the moment of her death, and not sooner, if Milo dies within 7 days, Klock gets his soul. If Milo is killed by Klock's hand, or the hand of anybody that Klock has maneuvered to kill Milo, the contract is void. If 7 days pass and Milo is not dead, Klock has to return to Hell immediately. Wording is very important in devil contracts. Urevian will clap his hands together. Another lovely deal for you all. I will be seeing you, hopefully not too soon. And he disappears.
Right, yeah.
Alright. Should we get this done then?
I guess so.
Klock didn't wait for our heroes to get prepared. He just started marching towards the ghoul's territory. The group hurried along behind him, nervous about their new contracted help.
Oh, he's moving.
Look, I'm going to be honest. We didn't put a duration clause in that contract, and I'm not sticking around for 500 years. So
No,
if
I
she's
get
dying-
it, I get it. Yeah, right. Guess we're moving out then.
How come you even signed the contract with Bakara in the first place?
Urevian brought a lot of devils with him when he signed his contract.
Sold you out, huh?
Well, we're basically contractors. But a lot of us had shitty contracts, it seems like.
Yeah, it feels like, he probably
He
knew
kicks the door
that
open.
Steve-
Rather
Oh,
shitty.
Bob!
Oh shit!
As Klock launched his attack on the ghouls, I had to figure out how I wanted to portray this new ally. On one hand, this is a story about our heroes, and they should be the powerful heroes of our story. It's not often fun for them to have another character come along and show them up. That feels very GMPC, and I don't really like that. On the other hand, however, Milo had just put his soul on the line to get Klock on side, so I needed to make him noticeably worth it. Luckily, his stats make him able to easily overwhelm any standard ghoul without any GM fuckery, and as he assaulted the ghouls, he cut through them like they were nothing. The first ghoul didn't even have time to react as Klock burst into the room and killed it before it could even act. I wanted to show that Klock and the ghouls had prior history, so the 2 surviving ghouls were visibly shaken and backed up. The Kanker cultist managed to enfeeble Klock, however that didn't really slow him down all that much. Our heroes supported him by launching ranged attacks and chasing down the ghouls, but Klock handled the fight with impressive speed and savageness. Thanks to his ability to teleport at will, he appeared behind the Kanker cultist and bloodied them instantly. The cultist tried to flee, but triggered Korlock's reactive strike, which beheaded the ghoul. I wanted to show off as many of Korlock's nasty powers as I could to prepare our heroes to face him themselves, for no particular reason. The final ghoul rushed to the temple, opened the doors, and called out that the surface folk were attacking with Klock. Moments later, me finished off that final ghoul. Klock moved to the entrance of the temple. Nakazarin was stood alone in the temple and could immediately sense that she was in danger.
Klock, what are you doing?
And as you gather behind Klock, you see him shrug. New contract, mate. As Klock and Nakazarin prepared to face each other down, we ended the session there. This upcoming fight is going to be an interesting one. To prevent it being a total stomp by the party and Klock, I'm going to have Nakazarin call out and slowly add more ghouls from the surrounding library. Hopefully, this will give the party enough distractions to keep them from focusing all their attention on her. I went into this session hoping to achieve a deal or two with the party, however I hadn't been expecting Milo to be so up for it. While Milo definitely has enough reasons to want to make these deals, I can also sense a bit of player-driven desire to make deals with devils. While Urevian's contract will remain fair, I do hope Klock survives the battle with Nakazarin to make Milo regret his overwillingness to trust fiends. This was a really fun session, filled with lots of back and forth with devils, as well as some great conflict in the party. I feel like my campaign of Abomination Vaults is starting to branch from the expected progression of the adventure, but once we reach a new floor, with new challenges, we should pivot back to some regularly scheduled Abomination Vaulting. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching one of our campaign diaries, there is a session 1 to 20 recap on the channel that can catch you up with the story up to the start of this session. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and a comment, as it really does help the channel grow, as well as subscribing if you haven't. We do have a Discord, link in the description. Merry Christmas, guys. I will see you very soon, probably in the new year. Have a great day. Bye-bye.